Welcome to the Horror Friendly Podcast.
It's not over because that bitch is dead.
Let's delve into that a bit deeper.
I'm going to be like the peacekeeper between you two tonight.
Yeah, fuck with the original.
Yeah, don't fuck with the original.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Horror Friendly Podcast, part of the You Run Podcast Network. My name is Katie, and I am joined yet again by Charlie and Chantal. Hello, guys.
Hey!
How are we both?
Hot.
It's hot, innit?
England has decided to have one day of summer, or the entire summer season in one day, and we were not prepared. I know, like, other countries are like, how could England complain so much? But we don't have AC for a start. But we also get no like warm up. We just suddenly go from like 15 degrees to 28. So we have no adjustment period.
And we also all work, so like we can't even enjoy it really.
Yeah, like it is literally that. And then you get one day of summer on a Tuesday, and everyone will be in the office.
Yay!
Absolutely sweltering. But yeah, that's why England struggles so much, is that we don't have a build up.
Yeah,
it's the same reason we burn. Like, you can't build a tan, you just go straight to death. Like,
it just goes 0 to red.
So yes, this is when you hear us moaning, there's genuine reasons.
Yeah, so we're going to be moaning this week and also be covering this monstrosity of a film, so it's all very exciting here at Horror Friendly Productions.
Although this film is set in England.
Yeah.
Right.
100 Acre Wood, mate. 100 Acre Wood.
Ashdown Forest.
Ashdown Forest. Isn't that actually 100 Acre Wood, though? Or is that in Ashdown?
Yeah, Ashdown Forest. It's East Grinstead.
I was going to say, there is like it is an actual place.
Yeah, it was filmed there as well. So,
to be fair, though, if you can, why wouldn't you? Okay,
Absolutely.
So we've given it away. We are doing Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Transformed into feral and bloodthirsty beings, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet terrorize Christopher Robin and a group of young women at a remote house. As a child, if someone had told you one day there was going to be a horror movie about Winnie the Pooh, would you have ever believed them?
Would you? I told my mum about it and she was devastated.
I haven't told my sister yet, who was actually my whole family were like...
I haven't told my sister yet, as if it's like really tragic news.
Well, she's
just to let you know,
Disney
broken it to her.
She's got Tigger like painted on her wall. I don't know how I'm going to tell her.
That's all right. Just don't tell her about the sequel, because that's one with Tigger in, whereas this one is Tigger free.
Where was Tigger? Okay, I know we're going to come on to that, but like, yeah, we'll come on to that.
Yeah.
What were our first thoughts, Charlie? I'm going to come to you so I can carry on eating my ice cream.
The acting was not the best, but I did really like the idea behind it. And I did actually kind of enjoy it. I quite liked like how gory and like rough it was. I mean, I had like I think it was like $500,000 budget, and I think, to be fair, like they've smashed it. Apart from the storyline is a bit weak. I think the rest of the elements are actually like, for what you're paying, like I think it's done fairly all right. I enjoyed it. It wasn't obviously the best movie, and it is like quite hard to follow, but for an indie, I can't really fault it really too much. We've seen worse. How about you, Katie?
Yes, it's my first time watching it, probably my last. I actually agree with you, Charlie, with terms of like the gore and stuff. To be fair, like that actually was really good. The plot didn't make any sense. They included these like random fucking characters, and then like nothing happened.
Some fucking hillbillies in the middle of Sussex.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, we'll get onto it, but yeah, it was badly written. Again, like the idea of it isn't bad. I suppose everyone associates Disney with this big thing, so it was quite cool to kind of have it done as a slasher film and like an independent one. But weirdly, like I know slashers aren't the most feminist things ever. Like I'm the first if I can say it. But like I felt like some of the kills, well, actually, there's one particular one in mind. It just pissed me off, like the way she died. And I mean, we'll get onto it, but it just really fucked me off, probably more than it has before in slashers. And that just pissed me off. So I was in a shit mood for the rest of the film.
Did it involve a swimming pool by any chance?
It wasn't that one.
Oh, okay.
It was okay. Yeah, we'll
okay.
yeah, we'll get onto it. But yeah, that one was fucking stupid as well. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I didn't love it, if I'm honest. I don't think I'd watch it again. But also it's done something to me because I do kind of want to watch the second one. So I don't, my feelings are a bit confused with it.
There's a third one coming as well.
Oh god. Tell, go on.
Do you know what's funny is I was watching it, obviously it's how you watch films. I was watching it and I got like, I don't know, half an hour in, and I was just there going, I have so many thoughts, but I was at my sister's, so I didn't have like my normal notebook and pen and stuff. Yes, the same sister I haven't told about it, but I was dog sitting, so she wasn't there. And I ended up like getting my phone out, so I am gonna have my phone on me a lot tonight. And I wrote so many fucking notes because I was just like, I'm wondering if it's the same death, Katie, because one of them made me so angry, and points of it made me so angry. And you can tell they've tried to do a slasher, but it missed the mark. And I think the same as they were trying to do this like feminist storyline, but you could absolutely tell it was written by a guy. I actually looked it up and absolutely confirmed it was. And it just pissed me off because I was like, did he run this by a female? Did he run this by a woman? But then their actresses were in it, and apparently none of them flagged anything. But I was like, there are absolutely scenarios in this that a woman would not do. Or, do you know, I was driving me insane. I was like, who checked this script? And I think, again, they wanted to just have fun and make a slasher, so they probably had a blast making it. But as an audience, we're not getting that fun. We're just getting shit. Not the whole film. There were good bits, but there were bits that royally pissed me off. Starting with Winnie the Pooh looking like fucking Mr. Rubber. What the fuck? He looked terrible.
I quite like it.
Did you?
Yeah.
I could not take it seriously. It was so obviously a guy in a mask. They're like, when he's eating the honey, he's just slapping himself in the face because he can't find the mouth hole. And it just pissed me off.
Yeah. They're meant to be sort of like half human, half animal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't giving that.
It wasn't giving those vibes.
It wasn't giving half human. Half
Do you think that Piglet looked better than Winnie the Pooh?
So funny we're having this conversation.
Who wore their rubber mask better, Piglet or Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, because I feel I get where you're coming from with Pooh, but there is there's a shot where like you can see like they've obviously like done contacts or something. You can see his eyes glowing. I think it looks really sick. But I think Piglet's mask and whole look was a lot better with like the tusks, like sort of like more like a warthog rather than a pig. But I think he looks a lot better. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from with like the looking a bit latexy.
But this, I think, was my problem, is Piglet looked scary. But even the name Piglet is not scary. So every time they showed Piglet, I was like, that's contrasting. But I think my problem was they didn't match. Like, they made Piglet an actual pig and they made Winnie the Pooh a rubber yellow bear. Like, why not make him look like a real bear? Like, where was his fur? I was like, they should have picked a theme.
The human in him.
I thought, though, maybe I need to rewatch just the first 5 minutes. I thought after they ate eel, we'll come back to that as well.
Rip, press son of a bitch.
Rip. Yeah, of course it had to be. I think it was Eeyore because he was the one that was on all fours, so it would have been harder to have an actor act as Eeyore than the other four. Obviously, we haven't seen Tigger and Owl and Rabbit yet, but they can all go on two legs, so I think that's why it was Eeyore. But after that, I thought they said they were then going to go back to their wild ways So when they were all walking around in clothes and driving cars, I was like, mixed messaging. But maybe I missed, maybe they were like half human mutants, but I thought the idea was they were going back to like being animals.
A pact was made. They renounced their humanity and returned to their animalistic roots, swearing never to talk again.
So why was he wearing clothes and standing up and not looking like a bear?
I guess to save us the
yeah.
prosthetics of a bear penis and a pig penis.
Maybe. Well, he
And
could have
things like
been in
that.
clothes. They could have
What a
been
shame.
tattered, like he never took them off because he had paws.
Good job it's not Eeyore.
Jesus.
Hung
Hung like a donkey.
donkey.
Hung by name, hung by nature. Am I right?
Hung by prosthetics.
I don't know about you guys, but growing up in my family, we were like each kid was associated with like a character. So in like we had like the Teletubbies, like each of us had a Teletubby, each of us had a Winnie the Pooh character, and mine was Eeyore. So the fact that
Rip.
they ate Eeyore straight away, I was like, for fuck's sake.
That's the real reason you don't want to show your sister, because you know that she's going to go along to the rest of your family and be like, look, Tail's been eaten by some
Tells me
fucking
you guys.
By her.
ravages
By my
and-
family. You've eaten me, little fuckers. But yeah, I don't know. I just think they should have picked a look and gone with it rather than Winnie the Pooh looked very different to Piglet. Like they didn't look like they were from the same species anymore. And I don't mean like bears and pigs. I mean like whatever these half mixed creatures were. I don't know. It bugged me.
Yeah. I mean, talking of like slapping honey on his face, wasn't he at one point slapping people to death? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Did any of you guys see that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
I didn't just make that up.
get some spanks by
karate chopping people.
the thing is, like early on, he does slap someone like multiple times, and then
Yeah.
obviously when it comes to the rednecks of Sussex, he takes them out in like one chop. Where did the
Yeah.
strength come from?
I
I'm just going
know.
to karate chop off your hand.
And that is what I quite liked about it, Charlie, when you say that he takes everyone out. Like, the violence does sort of like continue throughout the film, which is good because that's what you're looking for in a slasher. Like,
To be fair, those last 15 minutes, it's fucking sick. Like it is literally non-stop. Okay, it's again, the acting could be better, but like action-wise, it's all fucking happening. And I quite liked it.
yeah, I think it was just when he was driving, Pooh was driving. I think I just sort of mentally checked out. But yeah, like when the explosion happened and stuff, and then like Christopher Robin escapes, like I can see why people would like that. And I guess it's kind of surprising that she dies at the end because you sort of think, standard
Final
slasher
girl.
things are, that she's going to survive. So that's kind of different.
I thought so. Again, I actually really liked the opening with the sketches. I thought that was really cool. But I thought when it was doing the sketches about Christopher Robin, when he came back, he got dragged off, and I swear they roasted him alive.
It was given that, wasn't it?
Because then suddenly he's alive. I'm like, but you told us he died.
Do you think they were trying to like throw us off?
Well, it was, but
Could that be
like,
his wife or fiance, whatever it is?
no, it was
I
him.
know because she got gutted.
Yeah, because she got gutted,
stripped.
and then they dragged him away into the cave, and then they showed us him on fire, or maybe they showed us a fire, but they implied that way.
Yeah.
And again, I was like, that's fine if you're like live action dragging someone off screen, but to actually show us his death in a sketch and then be like, actually, that's not what happened. I just was like, this is really badly written. Like, again, they didn't have, they could have just showed us him getting dragged away and not shown the fire, and it would have made sense.
Because they used the sketching again at a later point as well. And I kind of wish that they put more of the sketching in, just because I think it would have worked to, I don't know, maybe at the end or something. I just like the stylization of it. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like it was a bit like, oh, he's been burnt. Oh, there he is being hung up.
He's back.
Yeah. Getting whipped with Eeyore's towel.
And there wasn't really much going for him other than he just kept going, Pooh, I'm sorry, Pooh. I'm sorry I left. And that's just what he did for like an hour and like 20 minutes. And there was no other, obviously we got it. Like it was a pretty simple like thing. He left and they were fucked off. Like, yeah.
They
But
were
like,
hungry.
yeah, but there was just kind of like, there was nothing else. He wasn't giving anything else. Like that was just it.
Yeah.
And it could have possibly even been as fine of a film without him in it. Like if he was in it at the beginning and then just like killed, the film would have just been exactly the same.
Yeah, really just had a final.
He didn't really serve a purpose. Yeah,
he's back for 2.
But he also, again, like his only purpose was to take his wife there. But then him and his wife had nothing to do with the rest of the film. So you're right, he absolutely served no purpose.
Well, I guess his purpose was obviously he was trying to sacrifice himself to save Lara, and then obviously that went tits up. With you left, that absolutely sent me though. I have to say. You left. Fuck off, Pooh.
Yeah, Pooh's got fucking issues, man.
He's like a toxic boyfriend.
But the fact, like. It's like you left. Like, did Christopher not explain very well why he was leaving? Like
he did. I feel like it's quite a reasonable explanation.
Also, like they survived quite a long time without Christopher Robin, and he wasn't like going to be bringing them enough to only live on his food because he was stealing it from like his parents. So how did they very quickly go from, oh, the man isn't feeding us anymore, eat eel? Like that's quite the jump. Did they just not like eel? I'm really holding on to the fact they ate eel.
So I'm guessing it's sort of going into that sort of animalistic tendency. So apparently, like if you die after like day 4 or 5, your cat, like if you're locked in your house with your cats will eat you. So I'm guessing it's.
I like dogs.
Oh, dogs will probably do the same. But like
dogs will go and get help. That's what I love about them.
But anyway, yeah, I feel like it's maybe like a little like, oh, like we saw no other option, so we had to eat one of our own.
Like Lord of the Flies.
Kind of makes sense for Piglet because Piglet is a pig and they do eat kind of anything.
Bacon. And
I suppose Tigger's a tiger, but the others, like Rabbit's a vegetarian.
I think that just got blown out the window. They were like, "Oh my god, he's left. This is the worst thing ever. We have to eat eel."
That depressed son of a bitch is bringing us down even more. Stop being so fucking depressed, Eeyore.
When I left the country, who did you guys eat?
Let's eat the depression that is eel. Get rid.
I think any therapist has ever recommended that as a cure.
No.
Let's eat your depression.
Yeah.
Eat your mates.
But don't eat the rich, eat your friends. I just love as well that they kept his tail on the grave. I was like, fuck. I love
and then it comes out later, doesn't it? When Pooh starts whipping him.
Yeah.
Also, like, okay, it's really difficult because I can take this for what it is. And it sounds like I'm really like seriously critiquing this, but we are covering it. So we do have to do that. But like, even like with whipping him, like he got those gashes on his back so quickly, like, and that's not how whipping like that. That's not how it works. Like they build up, and I think I know it was a small budget.
Previously whipped.
That's true. Open wounds, I suppose.
Also, I'm not convinced that would have done that sort of damage. Because like a cat of 9 tails is like knots. Like Eeyore's tail was, I don't know, because he was
fucking
like
horsehair or donkey hair. That's fucking rough.
Well, I was thinking less of the hair and more of like the actual meaty part of the tail. I don't know. It's a hard one, isn't it? Because I'm like, it would. Yeah, maybe it would. Yeah, I was thinking like cat of 9 tails where they put knots in them to like really get your skin open.
It's probably got like glass in and shit as well.
Yeah, I mean, Pooh's a bit fucked up. He might have added some stuff.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. And also, like, it was the whole purpose of, like, it was horrific because it was Eeyore's tail and, like, they're making the point. And,
so much.
Yeah. But, yeah. I mean, I think, oh, God, there was just so much wrong with it. Like, when the fact that she just randomly says that she has a gun, like...
I've got a gun. Jessica, I've got a gun upstairs. Yeah, I've got a gun upstairs in the room.
But it's about to win, like, oh, okay.
And it's a
completely
fucking handgun, like air rifle or something. I could have understood,
But
a fucking handgun.
not in England.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the writer and director is English, so he knows that. He knows that you don't just pick up a gun in England. Like, what was she, a fucking police officer? Like, you don't just have a gun.
Yeah, also, like, why would she just suddenly remember she's got one? Like, clearly, if she's like constantly on alert for this random stalker, that's another fucking stupid subplot.
I didn't mind that subplot.
I thought it was so stupid. I thought it was. I wonder if you. My reason I thought it was stupid is the way she kind of talks about it with her friends. Again, I just don't. If I sat down and was talking to my friends that way, all those reactions just felt very fake and very forced and very weird. Also, that was such a mishmash group of girls. I was like, that's not a friendship group. We're getting a girl from every category and putting them together in a cabin. But also for me, I was like, the fact it was a completely random stalker. She only saw his eye. I was like, no, 95, I'm not going to get this. I don't know the accurate statistic, but most women are stalked by someone they know. Like, it's an ex or someone they went on one date with who's got infatuated. It's not some random guy who happened to look in her window. And that kind of bugged me because it's like, it's almost downplaying like how fucking horrific being stalked is. And it kind of like, oh, it's just the creepy boogeyman from the woods. No, like, and then it just brushed over it and had nothing to do with the rest of the film. So again, I was like, what?
Yeah, like, I see what you mean. I think I didn't really look at it that deeply, but that's a really good point. Mine was more just like, why? Like, you've got enough going on here, mate. Like, you got fucking Winnie the Pooh trying to eat everyone. Like, let's just focus on that. Like, it's a very simple slasher. Like, you don't have to overcomplicate it with these, like, and it obviously, like, we'll come onto it, but the woman at the end.
Is that the woman from the gas station earlier?
Oh, is she? They just all just give her this load of dialogue at the end. It's just like, I don't give a shit.
That gas station, again, incredibly American. I was like, that is a typical slasher. Like, we don't get petrol pumps like that for a start. Also, didn't the guy have an American accent? And I was like,
yeah, that's what's like, but just that one guy.
Yeah, but like, did you drive across the ocean? What the fuck happened? Like,
I have to say, his friend group at the end, you fucking nonce. Like,
I mean,
sent me.
They had a point. There's this guy just creeping on the kids, teenagers. But this was it. That entire stalker story was just to get her in the woods, and it was like, you could have, like you say, Katie, it could have just been girls' holiday, hen do. It could have been any reason. It didn't need to be this weird backstory.
I feel like they were trying to. Sorry, Charlie, you go.
No,
I've spoken loads.
I think they were sort of trying to get at the idea of, obviously she was but she was already on some sort of alert of like being watched before, and then obviously like her the first the Instagram girl, being like, oh, like shouting out, being like, automatically assuming that it is the guy again.
So yeah, again, it's one of those where I'm like, if they had gone, oh, it's a bunch of girls going on holiday, one of them's particularly nervous, I'd have believed that, because women live nervously because of what shit we experience. So do you know what I mean? I was like, as Katie said, I think they tried to overcomplicate a film about Winnie the Pooh, and they really didn't need to. Sometimes less is more. And I'm wondering, Kate, because the hot tub one is the one that really bugs me. Is it the same?
Okay. It's not the same.
No, okay, right. Which one pissed you off?
My one was when it was the girl that didn't ever join the group, and then she ran into the barn thing.
The one you saw her boobs, so obviously she was going to die.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like, I understand what a fucking slasher means. I do. And I know they're not the most feminist things ever, like I said at the beginning. But, like, that was so unnecessary. Like, usually there's a sex scene, or she's doing a modelling shoot, or and then her boobs come out. Do you know what I mean? But this was just like, it was really violent death as well, and then just suddenly her top just conveniently comes off. Instead of it making me laugh like it normally does, and I just think, yeah, fuck it, it's whatever. It really, really pissed me off. And I was just like, this isn't even fucking, like, this is just like seedy and like just grim. Like, why?
I actually don't remember how her top came off. It just suddenly was off. And
I rewound it because I was like, what?
Yeah, what did happen?
Is this the one where they just put their phones in like a box
Mm.
and then it like switched over to someone else?
Yeah, she was
Okay,
lost.
cool.
She kept ringing them.
Okay, yeah, right. Now I'm with you now, because I was just like thinking, wait, who is this person?
Yeah.
Which probably sets it more into this random person just didn't turn up on. Yeah, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah,
I just feel like there was a lot included for this person that had like 2 lines and wasn't really in the film.
Yeah.
And like they just thought, oh, we'll just quickly get her tits off. But then like nothing, it wasn't consistent after that. There was no like, okay, the hot tub scene, but there was no like actual topless scene like it was that one. And I just felt like it was really cheap, and they just kind of added it in there quickly. I felt like it was a really last minute edit just to be like, yeah, we'll just get some tits in there.
If we give you 100 quid, will you get your tits out?
It didn't sit right with me, which is weird because normally I'm just like, whatever. But this time I didn't like it.
No, I do know what you mean. That was a weird one.
Go on. What about you in the hot tub scene then?
So my dislike of the hot tub is, one, again, if you're on a girl's holiday, there is no way one girl is in that hot tub on their own. Like, there is going to be 5 of them in that hot tub, 2 minimum, but there is not going to be one on her own. It just doesn't happen. We're sociable creatures. We like to hang out. So that was already a bit unbelievable. The taking selfies, absolutely believable. But if you saw a guy, or she believes there's a guy behind you, and you get out the hot tub, you're not getting back in. Like, I'm sorry, but like the whole fact that she got back in and then just sat there and relaxed, I was like, absolutely not. Again, the amount of shit girls deal with on a daily basis, she is not getting back in that hot tub and relaxing. She is going back into the house to be with her friends and lock the doors. And that just, to me, that whole setup was so unbelievable. Like, it would have been much better. And I think, again, we probably have seen it in other films where she'd like been taking the selfies and then she saw him and he was right behind her. And if there was like 2 of them in the hot tub, one had been, oh, I'm going to run in and pee. Do you know what I mean? But like the fact she was in there on her own, I was like, no, it wouldn't happen. And the fact she got back in wouldn't happen. So I was just like, do you know, like, am I wrong? Would you ever, like, if you're on a girl's holiday, you get in the hot tub on your own if your mates aren't about to come in with you?
It's kind of a weird move if you're going away with your mates and you just go and spend time on your own.
She has also sneaked her phone though. So maybe it's like a...
But again, that was...
this moment.
That's what I mean when one of them's like, we all promise. I was like, this is a very different... Like, every girl in this group has a different vibe.
I also feel like they killed off the girl with the only personality in the film. Like, I know that that's the point because she's obviously seen as the slut, or whatever she's seen as, quote unquote, the slut. But like, she was the only one with any kind of like real character. So I would have quite liked to have seen her carrying on.
Because I also got annoyed like with the couple, like when they go in the room and she's like, oh, why'd you do this? They had no chemistry. Like, they literally just went, we're going to have a lesbian couple.
Yeah, and then they said that they were having some sort of issue.
Which was not expanded on at all. Yeah, was not added, not expanded on. And then one of them died. One of them was a little bit upset. And I was like, what is happening? Like, did this couple like each other? I was like, you've just thrown them in to be like LGBTQ representation. And it was absolutely not. I was like, what? They don't even look like they like each other. I don't believe them as a couple.
Going back to the stalking thing, Charlie, why did you like it?
Oh yeah, sorry. We went straight on to kills.
I feel like it was like any sort of backstory that, like, it wasn't a necessary backstory, but like it was still something to get them there and to sort of explain how some of them were reacting, although obviously not in the right way. But I just think it just gave it a little bit of something, if I'm honest. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, we're going on a girls' holiday to this place in East Sussex.
Yeah, who goes on a girls' holiday to East Sussex?
it did make me laugh when they were like, it has a pool. And it was just like, I figured, really? And then it was indoors, but I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, you're there like, no. To be fair,
where's this place gonna have a pool?
I said that, like, who would holiday there? Then I was like, actually, there was quite a lot in East Sussex, so maybe.
Yeah.
But it's just fucking funny.
Oh, because it's so local, do you think you could ever, like, in the third one, volunteer to do a bit of best effects?
I would absolutely, but I feel like I'd have a hard time biting my tongue if they're like, oh, so this girl's going to get back in the hot tub. I'm like, no girl would ever do that.
It's really funny because we've all got really like separate opinions. Like, Tel's more like, this isn't realistic. I just think it was shit, and Charlie's like, no, I'm going to stand up for this film.
There's
So
a
it's
Winnie
like,
the Pooh murderer, and I'm
so
like,
different.
Winnie the Pooh murderer. Well, that's just not realistic.
Yeah, literally.
It's. I think
I'm sorry that the bear man wasn't realistic enough for you.
but Piglet was. So I'm like, why did you not make both of them terrifying? Why was one of them great and one of them a rubber
Because
musk?
it's based on the books.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff.
Piglet was this big in the book. So like, do you know what I mean? I was like, they had the point was that they could embellish. So they could have made Pooh Bear. I mean, he was walking around with trousers on in this, so they didn't completely stick to the books.
Yeah, they gave him a rate. So because of Disney having some rights, like they had to like tread around things quite carefully.
Yes.
But he still managed to get him a red top, which I quite liked.
They couldn't walk around with their dongs out, could they?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna have to put in like prosthetic dicks.
Which is completely fair, but I
Your
just
dongs.
think they should have made him look more like an actual bear. It was so obviously rubber that
Yeah,
it ruined it for. It kept taking me out, and it was like, it
Yeah,
would.
but Winnie the Pooh doesn't look like an actual bear, does he?
I mean, he can't. No, he doesn't. He looks more like a teddy bear. But
Yeah, well,
thing
this guy's
doesn't-
teddy bear man.
Mate, if that was my teddy
He
bear,
could be
as a
some people's
child,
teddy bear.
mate,
Wait, no, I didn't mean it like that.
All right,
It turns sexual.
if that was my teddy bear as
Pride's
a
on its
fucking
way.
child, I'd have had
Bears are out.
nightmares. Like, the way he looked, I'd have been less surprised if at the end he'd taken the mask off and just been a psycho killer. Like that was more the
I get what you're saying.
because especially again when he was eating, like his mouth didn't move, and I was like, this isn't good.
They didn't have the budget.
I know they had a budget, but work with your budget, and again, make the story that
They did work with it. It just wasn't
well.
the budget for you.
No, but again, they could have saved money in other areas, like yeah. So
Well-
not having her tits out would have saved them a couple of hundred.
Because I really don't think it brought anything to it. And I don't, obviously, I'm not sitting here and saying that, you know, tits do bring a lot to a slasher film, but like at least there is some kind of reason for them. But like you say, Tel, they could have probably gotten rid of that scene and kind of taken away quite a lot of other scenes. But I also do get it, like with the Sussex hillbillies and stuff. Like I get it because there's only so much you can do with these characters now, so you probably do have to introduce a few for the bad guys to kill off.
Yeah.
I just feel like the stalker subplot and that random woman at the end, who I know got obviously, as Charlie said, got kidnapped at the gas station thing, but like she just kind of spoke for ages and just suddenly had this like supporting role, and I was just like, who's this guy? Who's this fucking woman? Like, what's going on?
I think it should have been one of the girls. If anything, I think it should have been the Instagram girl, because she did have more of a personality to her than anyone aside from Lara
or even Christopher Robin's wife, because again she was so early in the film, like her coming back would have been
kill her off. She was fucking annoying.
They all were fucking annoying. I still like the acting, it just wasn't. And again, I imagine they had a lot of fun on set, but it just doesn't come across like fun.
It's GCSE, maybe A-level drama.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see, Tel, I don't know if you already have, but if you watch the trailer for the second one, just to see what you think of what they look like in that.
I haven't actually. Do they look better? Or
I think they look better. I think
Okay.
he looks, Winnie the Pooh looks more like a Grinch kind of thing. That's what they've done with I mean, I don't. You're all about the aesthetics.
I'll have a look.
Watch it.
Actually, I'm slightly intrigued of what they've done with Tigger, because obviously he's going to be furry.
So Tigger
Is it just a furry?
lives in Chichester as well, which I find hilarious.
From the Check the Candy episode.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was just like, although he does say that he lives like down the road from Brighton, I'm like, that's at least 45 minutes on train. So.
Yeah, but when he was trying to explain that to Americans, that is down the road. You think their states are like 12 hours wide, and we're like, we could we could get into the north of Scotland in that time. if we got started in France, we could be halfway across Europe. Like, America's just so big. Chichester and Brighton are next to each other. What was your favorite kill, Charlie? We've spoken about least favorite, because we've spoken about mine and Katie's.
Least favorite.
Yes.
The swimming pool one. Where she sort of gets cornered to the end of the swimming pool. and then doesn't get out and is really shit at swimming in water that comes up to her waist. That's probably like my most frustrating. But I did also like it at the same time because I like how the other girl woke up to see her mate getting bludgeoned in the pool. But yeah, probably that one.
I felt like she had so long to get out of the fucking pool.
Yeah.
Stupid. And then it was like, and then he's like slowly walking over to her and kind of
Yeah,
almost like
yeah, and
slowly
she's, like,
killing her.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh.
Like, come on,
Yeah.
let's go. Like, if you've been stabbed once, you can still get out of the pool.
You can try.
Yeah.
None
Or
of
at
them
least
had,
try.
I've made so many notes where, and I actually can't remember what they're in reference to, but at one point I wrote, dude, run, you fuckwit. They all suck at hiding. And I think that was when they were like, Winnie the Pooh was just like literally right there and they were here. But they kept like ducking behind things that were the same height as them. And I was like, you guys don't really want to survive that. I'm not believing it. Like, make me believe you want to survive. Because as you say, it was like, get out of the water. Like, there wasn't a lot of fight. And I know it's quite shocking if you suddenly saw Pooh and Piglet trying to kill you. But like, run and process that later. Like, put
Also,
it in that, run.
They don't know that it's Pooh and Piglet because that doesn't exist in this world. That's obviously the Christopher Robin is a real thing. So this isn't. So they're just going to be like, what? It doesn't.
Who the fuck is that Bear and Piglet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they at one point say, "Oh, is that a guy in a mask?" Or do they reference it?
I mean, it is literally a guy in the mask. I don't know. Actually, I can't remember if they did.
Maybe they don't.
The Sussex Hillbillies did.
Yes, they did. Actually.
Maybe
they said that. They said that's no man.
Yeah, because when they went to fight him, they thought it was just a dude.
Yeah, and also in that fight scene, fucking Pooh doubled in size when he was going for his slap-a-thon. Like, all of a sudden, like, they have an angle where, like, he's just towering fucking over him before he plays a massive game of slaps. So, I don't know.
Oh, maybe that's how he killed everyone. Because, like, that is such a British game. Like,
happy slapping.
Happy slaps.
Yeah, that's obviously what was going on.
Oh my god, that's so funny. But yeah, I
mean, what other notes did you have, Tao? It seems like you got a lot on your mind.
A lot of thoughts and feelings. How the fuck did they eat Christopher Robin's wife down to a bone so quickly? Because they had like another skeleton hanging that was still meat, but she was gone.
Maybe she was tasty.
Maybe. Just to make him feel bad. How did it take them 5 tries to see the fucking car with the high beams on? That was right before they saw the West Sussex Hillbillies. Because like they literally got into the road and then looked around and I was like, it's got its high beams. How are you not seeing the fucking car? That really annoyed me. I actually called them the good guy Aussie Cockney redneck boy band. What the fuck? I didn't know what they were meant to be.
The Sussex Hillbillies.
The Sussex Hillbillies. You know,
and there was an American guy.
Yeah, I think they were.
He was a gas station guy.
No, the ones at the end, one of them came out with like the hat on, and I thought they were Australian at first. So I was like Aussie Cockney, and then I realized I think they are American. But yeah, so I called them.
Why put on an American accent?
Again, I don't know if that is like a reference to slashers. I'm not sure.
It didn't hit.
It didn't hit. Much like the masks, much like the acting.
But Pooh did hit. He bitch slapped his way through this film. That's for sure.
Bitch chopped.
Yeah. Bitch ate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did try and look earlier, so I was trying to watch like behind the scenes stuff. I was actually looking for makeup, but annoyingly I couldn't find a lot. However, I did find, so the composer was they wanted to like make obviously creepy noises and stuff. So we all know horror movies, it's going to be a violin. So in America, they sent a violin to somebody with like a beehive, and they put the violin in the beehive, and they were like, the bees might completely ignore it. They might, build in it. We're not sure. And when they took it out, the entire inside of the violin was all like honeycombed. I can't think what the word is, but when it's still like not honeycombed. And when they took it away, like there was still bees like being born in it, and they had to like keep releasing them, but they were going to stick the net back on and play it. And I'm really annoyed because by the end of this video, you still hadn't seen him play it because it was taking so long for the bees to like come out, and he obviously couldn't play it with them still in there. But so I want to know if it actually made it into the film, like how it sounded with all that in there.
You can also do.
But I was like, the amount of effort they put in to like this violin, again, could have saved money, like if they, you know, other places. Also, that went all the way to America to have that done. I was like, we have bees in England.
Yeah.
Again,
like wastes of money.
Yeah, and again, like it might have been that actually the composers were American, so it was actually cheaper for them to do it there and then fly over. Or again, tech, they might have just set the music digitally. I don't know. It didn't explain in the video. But yeah, so I actually just found that really cool that they kind of tried, because obviously Pooh does have bees following him around like during the film and he attack bees.
That bit was pretty cool with the bees, because we're a bit very bee heavy these last 2 weeks on the pod, haven't we?
Not the bees.
Not the bees.
They should have put that line in. I'd have forgiven everything if they just put that line in. But yeah.
So Charlie, you really liked the ending. What was it that you liked so much about it? Was it just because it was quite
It was
epic?
just action. Yeah, there was like non-stop action for 15 minutes, and I was like, yeah, it needed it by that point, because it felt like it was dragging quite a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I liked how silly the action was as well, because obviously it goes throughout like 3-4 different groups of people who obviously will randomly spring up from somewhere, but it was like, oh no, I can sort of get on board with how fucking stupid this is. But yeah.
So you like how many people were in it to die?
Yeah, I felt like I've been craving some decent deaths within horror recently. Because
again, like,
and this sort of like hit the nail on the head for me. It was like
hit the good spot.
Yeah, it gave me some gore.
Yeah, I know it was a slasher, and I know like slashers, some like again it's hit or miss, because sometimes it is just like they focus on a core group. So again, I kind of feel like if they had like less is more, if they'd focused on a more core group, they could have made it more with less. But just fucking, we're talking about this so seriously.
Yeah, or maybe like having some kills more at the beginning of strangers. So you can maybe think like, oh, why is everyone sort of around this area? Like, why is there not many people around? Like, they could have maybe started it that way. And then the finale could have just been like the three of them, the final showdown between Christopher Robin and Pooh. But yeah.
So again, my main complaint is Pooh Bear's mask. In my head, though, I am almost thinking, I was like, if you were going to make Winnie the Pooh a horror film, this is not the way I'd have gone. I would have gone, actually, Christopher Robin had a really fucked up childhood, really, like, it was all imaginary, and he becomes Winnie the Pooh, a psycho killer running around in a mask.
Okay, that's like, pretty good.
Thank you. I would have done it that way rather than Rubber Man, the worst furry
You should
ever.
do it.
Well, it's already been made now, annoyingly.
Just call it Winnie the Pooh, not Blood and Honey. And then just change it to wherever you want.
More blood, less honey.
Because he can't fucking eat the honey because of his mask.
He can't fucking eat it. I literally would have preferred it if he just had a dead body there and he was using the honey like dip for ribs, and he was just ripping a rib off, dipping them in and then eating it, rather than eating handfuls of honey but also being a cannibal. I was like, combine the two, guys. Like, everyone loves a honey dip. Oh, I don't know. Well, should we ask the question?
Let's do it.
Do we think we would survive? Surprise, it was a fucking surprise. Would we survive Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? And if so, how? Katie, I'm going to come to you first.
I would survive. Finally.
How are you going to survive?
I feel like it's quite straightforward. I feel like there's only two of them.
You just get out of the pool.
They only seem to kill within their sort of confined space. And I think if I got lucky, if there was a time where they were maybe killing someone else or focusing on something else, I could make a run for it. I think, yeah, on the basis there's only 2 of them, they are only doing it in their area, so there's a lot of land. It's pretty straightforward to run away. On that basis, I'm gonna say I would survive.
Woo!
I know.
Go on in, Charlie. What's Charlie say
Yes.
no the one time Katie says yes?
As if.
Yeah, I'd survive. I don't know. Same as Katie, you'd fucking run. It's only down the road as well. I filmed it in Chailey. There we
Just
go.
get an Uber back.
Exactly. Just get an Uber home. I've only got to
Right.
make it. In fact, I could learn to drive in the 15 minutes, 10 minutes max it takes me to get home than what it did for Pooh to learn how to drive in those 30 seconds to crush that girl's head.
To be fair, where it is might be private land, so it's legal for you to drive on it.
Exactly. There we go.
Kind of. It depends on who owns the private land.
I can't see out one of my eyes, but it's all good.
Okay. But again, if it's like, because it's like if you're driving in certain areas, if you own the area, you can drive on it.
Yeah, private roads you can drive on.
Yeah,
but
so
yeah, I've had enough driving lessons. I think I could get away from that.
Yeah, you don't need an.
I've got a 10-minute journey home. It's all good.
It's fine.
Also, if you're running away from a serial killer, I don't think you're going to be worried like, oh, this is private land. Can I
Yeah,
drive
literally.
on it?
I might get arrested for illegally driving. Like, I'll take my chances.
Yeah.
Don't tell.
I'm going to say yes, because again, I think I've got more fighting instinct than these guys had. I definitely would have got out the hot tub. But also, again, as you said, like, you don't actually have to get that far. You just have to get out of that little like archway. But I also think I could outrun Winnie the Pooh. He wasn't. I'm not in his rubber.
He's going to be sweating underneath that.
But again,
underneath that latex, he's like, you know what?
Yeah. But also, look at where they were hiding. He couldn't see through his latex. So he didn't have the best eyesight either. So I haven't got to get that far. And I'm pretty sure, even though he's like 7 feet tall, so his leg width is much bigger than mine, I feel like I'm faster than him. And he can't see me if I just hide behind a tree.
I reckon he's got a lot of stamina.
I think he does and he doesn't. Because, like, when he was chasing them, he was catching them and then just standing there.
So, like, a little breath.
Yeah, he wasn't like hunting them down, was he? But yeah, basically, so
nice.
We're all optimistic.
I think, yeah, this is the first time we all survived. Maybe not the first, but
definitely this season.
In a while.
In a while, because I think I let the team down by always saying no. So
it's okay. We'll do what we can to help you.
Thanks.
And what are we going to give it? Spookies out of 5. And what's your favorite spooky moment? I'll switch up. Charlie, coming to you first.
Switch up. You always come to me first.
Well, no, but I just went to Katie first, which is why I was like, I'll go back the other way.
Oh, okay.
There's only 2 of you. There's not many options.
You know, you could be like, you know, I'm gonna ask myself. No, I'm gonna give it a 1.5 out of 5. Again, it isn't the best movie. Would I watch it again? Probably. I don't know when. I've still got 48 hours to watch it again, so who knows? But no, I feel like it does have some quite good gore in it, considering the budget, and it is a fun little movie. Yeah, and then my favorite spooky moment, I would probably say, would be, I did quite like the head crushing with the car, and I also like the blood shower and the Eeyore whip. That was quite brutal.
One moment.
I don't know. Well, either one of them, take your pick. How about you, Katie?
I'm surprised you're giving it a 1.5, Charlie. I thought you'd give it more than that.
No, I mean,
fair.
Considering Wicker Man, it's better than that. So,
okay. I'm going to give it a 1. Sorry, I don't know what I was about to say. A half. A 1. I wouldn't rush to watch this film again, but weirdly, I do kind of want to watch the second one. So it's clearly done something for me. Yeah, I just thought it was stupid. A lot of it kind of pissed me off. And I think, as we've sort of discussed, I think like a lot of stuff could have been done better and in a different way. So that's my reason. And my favorite spooky moment, I think maybe the head crush with the car. I think that was pretty good. And the whole bit at the end, like, since talking about this, like, I think that is quite an epic moment. And when he kills off the final girl at the end, I think that bit was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah, because you don't necessarily expect that. So I quite like that.
Now you said that. Although you left, it sent me. So
yeah, so I'll say the final girl one because Charlie said about the head crush, so we'll go different. But yeah, what about you, Tal?
I really don't know what to give this because
the latex is getting away.
The latex is really bugging me, and the storyline and the facts. Please, for number 2, make sure a woman reads the script. Just a lot of things. But again, it's one of those, like, could I do better? Probably not. But I can.
Yeah, but you can't. You can't
judge.
Yeah, you can't review a film like that.
You can't judge a Winnie the Pooh book by its cover.
Oh, fuck me. I'm probably going to go with 1 as well. I think because, again, I would watch this drunk. Like, I think if it was, like, again, just being stupid, I would watch it drunk or drinking.
Pizza party
film.
It is a pizza party film.
It is. It's also only an hour and a half, so they did a lot in that time. But again, I still think less is more. But I am also probably going to go see number 2 because I'm also going to go watch the advert trailer now. My favorite moment though is going to be the sketches at the beginning because again, when they were just like, "Oh, we've eaten Eeyore," I was suddenly like, "What fucking film is this going to be?" Like, I started with my expectations so high because I was like, "That's a fucking great opening." Like, "Oh, you know your childhood dreams? Let's crush them." I thought that was fucking great.
I feel like Eeyore was like a lot of people's favorite as well growing up. He was one that had loads of merch everywhere. Like back in the Disney shop days and things like that.
I haven't got any of my Eeyores around. Yeah, he well, to be fair, they all did, but yeah. I don't know. He's just something about him, cuddly, blue.
Depressed.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Yeah. It's probably why our entire generation is like we're trying to make the depressed feel better. But it's actually most of us are, so but yeah, amazing. That was our Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey episode. Join us again next week for our, I was going to say, penultimate episode of this season. Are we there already?
Yeah, we are there.
Holy shit. Follow us on all the socials. Check us out. Like, subscribe, follow. Please do, because it really does help us. And yeah, and then we can keep doing lots of stupid shit. Until then, bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't die.
Winnie the Pooh's gonna get you.